So,
Let's go.
I can go?
You can go, yeah,
Or maybe you can do the list and then I'll speak, because
sure.
you've had the visuals in front of you, so that's more easy for me to...
Sure, so I'll let's go through the list first. So Martijn has brought Orks. He's brought 2 patrols. We've already used this list once in a stream, so some of you might find this familiar. So let's start off with the first patrol, which is a Goth patrol. And it starts off by using its first HQ slot with the big man himself, Gasghoul.
Gasghoul, yeah, indeed.
Yeah. So talk a little bit about Gasghoul.
Yeah, so Gasghoul is like a big meanie. That's it. He has 12 wounds. You can only do 4 damage a turn, a phase on him. He's a monster, so you cannot actually heal him with the Pain Boy. We'll talk later about the Pain Boy, who can use a stratagem to make him heal. So, as some of you may think, Iron Hands don't have a lot of psychic powers. They don't have that much melee power, so there's only one phase where he can do a lot of damage. So he'll probably survive for about a few turns. He has 12 wounds, he has 7 attacks or 6 or 7 attacks, he has strength a lot, does 4 damage with his claw. If a Leviathan touches him, the Leviathan is dead. That's just it.
Pretty much anything he touches is dead.
How much can the Pain Boy heal him?
D3 like for the stratagem, so you roll D3. So when you do him 4 damage, I roll D3. If I roll a 3 and a 2 in the next turn, you actually have to 2 more phases to kill him.
Yeah,
and he actually does more attacks when he gets damaged. So he starts on 5, then if he goes over half, he goes to 6, and then even Fury goes to 7. So when you get close to him and he can charge you, it's gonna be bad. Real bad.
It's gonna be bad.
Yeah, it's brutal.
His shooting is just a lot of guns. That's it. Doesn't do a lot, but it's fun to do that. And that is about it. But the funny thing is, he has a big base. So when I'm on the objective, if you are on the objective yourself, you want to capture the objective, you're in heroic intervention range. So I can always heroically intervene when I'm on the.
Yeah, his base is just big enough to actually
so
allow
over
for
here,
that trick.
You're always within 3.
Yeah, and so actually I deployed on it for you guys to maybe see the overview. But
Gasghoul's over here.
Yeah, Gasghoul's over there.
And there's a Leviathan over here, a Leviathan over there.
Yeah, and I put my army like on the other side of the.
So that's Gasghoul. I mean, he's just a big bad meanie.
Yeah. So then there's 10 Gretchen. Nothing really much to talk about there. They're just an OPSEC unit. You have to take troops.
Yep.
They're inside a truck.
Yep.
In a moment, we'll give you guys an overview of the deployment. But 10 Gretchens, their job is basically just to stand on objectives.
Yep. Stand objectives. You don't really want to use Grot Shield in this layout of my army. So the Grots don't have any use except for that. And you can actually use deploy scramblers and stuff, because later on one of my secondaries is deploy scramblers. You need some infantry for it, so those Gretchen are like, they're in a truck, okay, you kill it, I'm gonna get out, I'm gonna use scramblers, and I'm gonna be an objective. That's simply what they do.
Yep. So then there is another interesting piece in this patrol, which is the Pain Boy.
Yep.
Yeah,
so the Pain Boy actually heals D3 for Gasghoul, and that's about it.
Yeah.
That's the only reason why they're in a separate.
Yeah, indeed.
Yeah.
And when you would take banners, you can actually take him with Gasghoul. Gasghoul's going to be in the middle. He's going to be next to it, going banners.
Yep. Yeah. And actually, he's got a power claw, so he can do some damage. He can do some damage.
If there's like a single tactical or maybe even something like that close, you just go, okay, I'm going to charge it. I'm just going to snap it.
Yeah, he gets an extra attack from Gasghoul.
Yeah.
He gets an extra strength, which is then multiplied.
For being golf, yeah.
So it's actually pretty good, and he gets to reroll ones.
Yep.
So he's mainly there to heal, but he can also deal some damage. Run off if he wants to. Okay, then let's go over to the Death Skulls patrol with the Warlord. You'd think that'd be Gasghoul, but actually in this list, the Warlord is
big boy,
the war boss on the war bike. Yeah.
Yep. He is just a beast. He has 14-inch move. Then he can charge. He can actually advance and charge. So he can move 20 and charge. He has brutal but cunning, meaning he gets +1 damage and +1 strength when he charges. He has the Killer Claw, which means he can reroll. So he does damage 3, so that becomes damage 4. He hits on 2s because you don't have any negative attacks from the Power Claw, and you get to reroll wound or not? You get to reroll wound as well?
Yeah. You reroll
so
everything.
You reroll everything. So it just goes, okay, I move 20. Okay, I want to kill this game.
Yeah.
And he's just gonna.
Yeah, he's insanely effective.
Yeah.
Yeah, he actually puts out as much damage pretty much as Gasghoul himself.
Yeah, and he's a lot faster. So,
Yeah.
And he can actually, because he's a war boss, you can actually, when you want to charge some stuff in, like the Deaththreads, maybe just to tag some stuff, he gives him like he's a war boss, so you can actually advance and charge.
He can actually also, which is can be quite useful, make the Megatrex advance and charge.
Yeah, the Megatrex are not on the board right now, but we'll talk about it later.
Yeah. So then there's 10 Gretchens for troops in the patrol. It's mandatory, but again, they're useful, but nothing really to talk about at length. Then we've got 2 units of 5 Commandos, just bare bones. There is no knob in there. Just 5 boys.
I only have to say one thing, and that's Scramblers.
Yep.
Scramblers.
So in this list, basically they don't. So you've picked Scramblers in the upcoming game, but they can perform more missions.
And not to forget, they are OPSEC because they are in the DevSkulls. DevSkulls give you OPSEC for infantry units.
Yep.
And that actually means that if you are with a non-OPSEC unit on a piece of on some objectives, I can just say, okay, I'm going to charge you, or I'm going to deep strike, charge you, and now I hold the objective, usually denying you 5 or maybe even 10 points if that's the hold. If I can make sure that I'm going to get a hold more or hold 2 or whatever. And they're not bad in combat, they're just not good. They just have a lot of attacks, and that's it.
Sure. Yeah. The fact that they don't have a knob in this list.
And no AP.
Yeah. They have no AP. They are boys with 3 attacks though, so they can dish out,
punch some stuff.
And they have a melter bomb.
Yeah. Haha.
With a reroll can actually be pretty effective.
Yeah.
But moving on to more interesting things, the Megatrex Scrapjet unit. So it's a unit of 3.
Over here?
Yeah. So that's the 3 buggies in this list.
Yep. Currently they are in deep strike because I know he has a lot of firepower in his dreads.
Yes.
And I want to make sure that I get the most use out of him. Also because I have While We Stand We Fight.
Yeah.
So this was one of the units that actually you have to kill all 3 of them, so I can actually safely deploy them somewhere, make sure that you cannot kill it. And they have, like the rockets, is 2d3, strength 8, AP -2, 3 damage. If it's against a vehicle, I get +1 to hit on one of them, or you get 1 extra on flying. So it's actually a lot of rockets in such a small buggy.
Yeah.
That's it.
It's equipped with 2d3.
1 extra, the wing missile.
2d3 missiles, which are strength 8, AP -2, flat damage 3, so it's good anti-tank.
Yep.
Sometimes it's good marine fire because there are marines with 3 wounds.
It's anti-Primaris.
Yeah. And then there's the extra missile, which gets +1 to hit against anything that's a vehicle and -1 to hit against anything that's not.
Well, he has some dreads. So.
And it's also equipped with 12 big shooter shots, which is interesting against infantry. So it's an interesting platform. It's very versatile.
Yep. And they are actually quite good in combat. When they charge on a 4+, you get D3 mortar wounds. Yeah. And they can attack twice because they have the corkscrew, flashy bits.
Yes.
So that just works wonderful. That's just okay. They come in. I can usually line them up all within 9 of something that I want to charge. I get 3 chances to charge what I want to charge.
Yes.
With a reroll.
Yes.
So
they're extremely good.
Yeah.
And they look extremely cool as well.
Yeah. They're awesome. I think one of them, the most beautiful buggy of them all. I think.
Yeah. It's definitely a very cool buggy. So moving on from that, we've got a unit of 2 Deaththreads.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They always remind me of Rayman. You know the game? Rayman, the old school? You had to get Rayman 2, you have those are exactly the same.
the pirates, you mean?
Yeah. So they are equipped with the big guns. So they have 4 small range las cannons. So strength 9, AP -4, damage D6. But because they are a Deathskull, they have the flashy gits. Sparkly bits, So they hit it on force. And with you get the reroll 1 because of the Deathskulls for to hit, reroll 1s for 2 wounds, and reroll 1s for damage. So Stefan actually told me that when he played his brother with this, he just one-shots a Lehman Russ with one of those guys.
Oh, man. Yeah, side story, that was brutal.
It wasn't fun for him.
Wow, they are actually very effective. Yeah. It actually is I mean, it's not on average, but frequently I get like 5 hits
5 or
out
6,
of 4 shots.
5 or 6, yeah.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Yeah, and they look amazing.
Yeah, they're very cheap. So this is a specific setup of list. You know, but the Deaththreads are quite cheap, and they bring actually surprising good firepower. So yeah, tasty unit.
Yep, indeed. And he has to kill both of them for while we 75.
Exactly. So moving on to the cannon wagon, which is the big cannon wagon.
He's also well withstand with fights, right?
No, it's Gasghoul, the 2 Deaththreads, and the 3 guys over there.
Yep.
So the cannon wagon is a Forge World cannon wagon, like Forge World battle wagon.
Yeah.
With a big gun, like it's 20 centimeters.
Yep.
So, well, that's huge. And he has 2d6 shots, strength 8, AP -2, damage 3, with 60-inch range.
Yeah.
So, and it's on.
Does he need line of sight?
Nope, and he hits on 4+. Oh, he needs line of sight, but he hits on 4+ because he has an ammo runt, or the ammo runt, or he has a Gretchen in it.
He has a Grot manning the cannon. Yeah.
Like
Grots know how to shoot, right?
Yeah, they are actually the more accurate when it comes to shooting. Yeah, they should actually put a Grot behind every gun, but that's no fun.
That's no fun. So, and that's actually, it's a battle wagon, so he has a lot of wounds, he's quite fast, does a lot of damage. So that's easy.
Yeah, it's just a very good weapons platform for pretty cheap, 170 points.
Yeah, 170.
Yeah, it's pretty cheap. So moving on to the mech guns, we've got 5 smasher guns
over there in the corner.
Yep, people can't see, but you sure?
So they have to roll D3 shots.
Yeah.
Strength. You have to roll when you hit. You roll 2 dice. If you roll over the toughness, you do damage. It's AP -4, damage D6.
Yep.
So, yeah, it's brutal.
Yeah. It's very good against this specific matchup. It's interesting that it bypasses the Marines' popular stratagem of transhuman physiology.
Yep.
Because, you know, the transhuman says you can only wound on 4 ops or better, but the way a smasher gun works is you hit, and then you take 2d6 and you roll equal or over the target's toughness. So it bypasses transhuman, so it's actually quite effective at killing Marines as well.
Yeah, it's one of the banes of my Dark Age army, those guys.
Yeah.
So then we've got the notorious Burna Bombers.
2 over there.
Yep.
For people who don't know what they do, they can throw bombs.
Yep.
So they can, when they fly over a unit on a 4-up against infantry, do a mortar wound. You roll the amounts of models in the unit.
Yeah.
But what they're actually good for is they have a really good scare tactics. Everybody is scared of them because you can actually make them auto-explode at the end of your movement.
Yep.
And then everything within 6 inch gets 3 mortar wounds. So that's extremely good. So you just want to sack one, maybe in turn 1 or maybe in turn 2. And they also explode on 4+, so you can actually go in front of a unit and say, okay, so for example, if I'm just going to tell the guys, so when I get turn 1, I'm going to be on the objective over there with one of them, the other one is just going to auto-explode, and it's going to say, okay, you want to come to me? You want to hold the objective? Sure, but you have to kill it, and if I roll the 4+ to explode, everything within 6, get 3 mortar wounds.
Yep.
So it's just very scary. And they have some guns as well, so they have they have some strength 5 shots.
Yeah, they've got some AP1 strength 6 shooting.
Yeah,
it's not super interesting, but it can actually pick off a few. It can be useful to have.
Do I score my points if you blow?
Yep. So for bring it down, it's actually just 2 points for you when I
actually just give a point away. Yeah, 2 points actually.
Yeah.
All right, so then finally, so I know, guys, the list says 1 truck, but we have 2 dedicated trucks.
One's golf,
and
one's the Gretchen. So one's the one with.
No, they're both Death Skulls.
Don't there have to be one in the patrol for the golf, so for the Gretchen to be in there?
No, they don't.
Sure. Oh yeah, they have to. You can actually put any Gretchen in any dedicated transport. Yeah. So I have 2 trucks, one over there, one over there.
Yeah. So the advantage of having Death Skull, it doesn't matter a whole lot. I guess the advantage of having Death Skull trucks is they get a 6-up in vulnerable hit. Yeah.
And they have Ramshackle.
That's true. Yeah, but they always have Ramshackle.
That's so cool.
That's not really
so funny. Oh, you do damage
specific.
6. I roll a 6.
Yeah. So that's the list, guys. Very mech heavy.
Yep.
Bringing the big man himself. A lot of targets to pressure your opponent. It's like you ask the question, what are you gonna shoot first, right?
Yeah.
This is a very good list, right? It won.
This is a GT winning,
yeah.
A few weeks ago, though, so
it's
meta has
bad
changed
list.
a bit with the Dark Eldar incoming, but I still think it's still quite good.
Yeah, it's
So
pretty
shall we go to the stratagem?
Yeah, please.
So, pre-game we always ask our players to pick their 3 favorite stratagems.
Yep.
There are more that are useful, but these are just the 3 most interesting to
That
them.
we want to talk about.
Yeah. So the first one is ramming speed. I'll just read it out loud.
Yep.
Right. So use the stratagem in your charge phase. You select an orc vehicle unit from your army. You can roll 3d6 when making a charge move, so instead of the usual 2. In addition, if the unit finishes a charge move, this phase, you select an enemy unit within 1 inch, you roll a die, and on a 2-up you deal D3 mortal wounds.
Yep. Yeah, so that's actually just to make sure that you get that charge off.
Yeah.
And the funny thing is, if you do that with one of those guys, you on a 2+ you do D3 mortal wounds, and on a 4+
Yeah,
you do
that's
another
the,
D3 mortal wounds.
The scrap jets, yeah.
Yeah, and then comes another stratagem, so that's the next one.
So that's the next one. So yeah, so this one, like you said, it's very useful just to make long bomb charges. Very useful to come out of deep strike, charge 3d6, deal some mortal wounds. Which can be very useful in this game, because sometimes you encounter these tough units, and then mortal wounds can be quite useful.
Yeah.
So then there's another stratagem. So it's called, for 1 CP, Unstoppable Momentum. You use this stratagem in your charge phase. When an orc unit from your army finished a charge move and dealt 1 or more mortal wounds to an enemy unit, if that orc unit is no longer within 1 inch of an enemy unit, so typically speaking it destroyed the unit with mortal wounds, right? It can immediately be chosen to charge again. So you could come in with the ramming speed stratagem, try to finish something off, you put some shots into it and you finish it off with the mortal wounds, you're clear. You can immediately charge again. So it's and you get another
ramming speed.
You get another ramming, you get the 3d6 inch movement. You don't get the mortal wounds though. From the stratagem.
No, not from the stratagem. But you do get the ramming, like from the charging from the.
Yeah, so you can really, if you want to really push hard through into back lines.
So how does it work if you like kill 4 guys and 1 is still but is out of engagement range?
Then you can still do the charge again.
Yeah.
Because
then you just charge again on the same unit.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. So that's something to keep in mind.
Yeah.
So
and then you can actually choose different units to charge with the. So then you can actually attack against those different units as well.
Yeah,
so that actually
you can
makes.
also pick a new target.
Yeah. So that actually is. So you can actually make sure that you touch as many things as possible to make sure that you cannot shoot in the next turn.
Yep. So for the final stratagem, we've selected the Medisquick for 1 CP. This is actually one you need for the Pain Boy to be able to heal Gasghoul, because he can't use his regular rule. So Medisquick allows you to select a character from your army that is within 3 inch of a friendly Pain Boy. It has to be of the same clan.
Yep.
The selected model immediately regains D3 lost wounds. So the Pain Boy can normally give wounds back to characters that are infantry.
Yep.
But Gasghoul isn't infantry. So you need this stratagem to actually be able to heal him.
Yeah.
But it's so good because Gasghoul has that mechanic where he can only take so many wounds.
Yep.
That getting wounds back basically buys him another turn.
Yeah, if you only get 1 wound back, you give another turn.
Yeah.
And if you.
And this is quick that heals?
Yeah, Medisquick. So.
Medisquick, he's got this like little pump squick.
Yeah.
You've got the new models for those for the folks at home, right? In chat, if you've seen Warhammer Fest, they spoiled like a new Pain Boy, and he actually has this. What's it called? Like this syringe with a water. Normally it's a water bag, like you see in hospitals.
Yeah, that's a squig.
But it's a squig, so it's that thing. Yeah.
So I know you're gonna base it on one of your guys, right?
Yeah. That was one of my favorite models, the Pain Boy.
Yeah, the new stuff. Yeah.
I didn't like the face, but like the
yeah, that's some faces are easy to convert to put something else on it. Yeah, they're the orcs. I mean.
Yeah.
So that's about it for my list.
Yeah.
So I can actually.